mouth, breaking these 3 teeth.
Felt so bad after I realized what had happened. I rehabbed the hell out of rehab.
G'day mates, how you legends doing? And people call me the Babadoe, and welcome to Two Lads on Deck Chair. I'm joined by Low Power.
Hello everybody. It's been so long. So
long. So it's a new year, new channel. Do you want to discuss what the changes are?
New year, same channel, same dudes. But the Babadoe and I, we've been working on a couple of things behind the scenes, and we're excited to send them out your way. We've got a bunch of videos in the works. We've got new things, new challenges, new places. New places to go, new places to see. But yeah.
So the plan is that we should, hypothetically, I'm kind of lazy, but we
both are.
We should get a challenge video and then the next podcast video is the idea.
Soon. Next challenge video.
But you might be a bit patient with us. This is all new for us and we're all studying it. But you might have seen our latest video.
That's right. Our latest video, which was driving 1,200 kilometers or 12 hours directly north from Canberra.
Which was a bit of adventure.
Yeah, check it out here. Yeah. Here's the photo.
I hope you all enjoy that video, but it was good fun for us and our first big video.
Yeah, our first big video. We spent the whole weekend filming it. It was, 4 cameras, 5 hours of footage. We cut it down to like 22, which literally took an entire day.
It did. Our editing style is we hate starting a project, but then when we get it into a consistent timeline, we're golden.
It's golden. Like, you and I grinded through the first 5 hours of just deleting.
With podcasts, it's a long footage. It's an hour long of footage that you have to edit.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it's not multiple cameras in different times and where we recorded. Yeah. So it's like making a puzzle, putting it all together, which scares me. Oh man, it's so scary.
You did very well. I will admit, Babadoe did do most of the timelining. I did a little bit, but then after enough time passed, we got ourselves set up. We had the timeline, and all we had to do was sit there and just add edits and add jokes, and that was where I think
That's really when we have fun.
Yeah.
It's when we're making jokes and making it a video.
Exactly.
I tried to compress it down to 14 minutes, but I think it works
14?
better. Yeah,
wow.
I was aiming to as soon as there's breaks or anything, cut it down. But to make it more coherent, it had to land at that mark. I don't think I could watch it again and delete anything. There might be a few jokes that we lose, but then you lose those jokes. So
there's bits and pieces.
It's a bit of experience. But
and it was just the way I'm sort of gone about it is that if it's a fun thing to do, it doesn't matter if the video flops, right?
Yeah.
And that was an unreal thing to do. Because now someone's like, oh, Pat, what did you get up to when you were 20? And I was like, well, I used to do these stupid road trips for 12 hours in one direction just to see where we'd end up. No spoilers, but it was lots of fun, and it's got over 500 views,
which is pretty good for us as a small channel.
Exactly.
So basically, our goal this year is to make bigger and better videos, along with podcasts, talking, and maybe have a guest or two on this year. Maybe.
Fingers crossed.
That's fingers crossed.
That was a lot of fingers that I pulled up. Was then fingers crossed.
Yeah. The main goal is to get monetized, which is still a big adventure for us to take place, but to put it in perspective, that big video we did, we need 4,000 watch hours, and that big video did 20 or 30 hours of watch time.
Did it really?
Yeah. I haven't told Pat the analytics of this.
That's mental.
But that's what we're at. So that's just one video.
That's so sick. I mean, it was so much effort, but it's that goes to show that if we
It's a little bit of progress.
Yeah, if we actually started posting consistently, I reckon we could get there.
Yeah, and plus it'll grow and stuff. We gained 2 subscribers, which is
Yes.
So basically, the Babadoe channel is now, I think, a simpler channel where it's a challenge videos or endurance challenges for us and a podcast where we can bring a guest on.
Yeah.
And
Chill out.
talk about it.
Yeah. At this point. Your perfect week is almost unattainable for
our
schedule.
I've done it
it's
once,
unattainable.
and it was perfect high.
Really?
Yeah, it was like I did a month where I like set it up for a week, and then I got it, and I was like, oh, it's so good.
It's so good. It's
But-
so nice.
But I think like the secondary channel, which I made a reaction channel, reviews will go on there, news will go on there, and basically reaction videos, so like Discord or Reddit or something.
Yeah.
They'll go on that, and then I've made a new channel for gaming stuff where I put live
gaming. Yeah.
where I put live streams and gaming stuff is there. So now, if I want to make certain types of content, I have a place to put them, and it makes it more simple. Pat just guzzled his water down.
I did, and I just noticed that there's like some dirt in it or something at the bottom. I was like,
dear.
Protein. But yeah, sorry, to go back onto what we were originally talking about, which was this road trip to Rome video.
Yes. It was
Unreal.
awesome.
So much fun. Thank you everybody for your support.
Yes.
We got like most likes, I think, on one of the videos we've put out so far.
Yeah, one dislike.
One dislike.
Whoever that is, I'm coming for you.
We'll find you. We've driven 12 hours in one direction before. We will come find you. You know, nothing will stop us.
It's all jokes, but yes, it's on 13 likes and one dislike.
Yeah.
But it did have its problems, I would say, that video.
Yeah. What problems did it have?
A few accidents here and there with cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
For instance, there's no mic attached to our main camera, which we had to do some audio mixery to
some weird
fix
stuff.
it.
Yeah.
Which in the export came out. We had a big discussion about this because when the video was first released
and second released,
I usually, when I release a video, I don't want to watch it again because I've been watching it over and over in the edit. So I want to give it some time and then I'll rewatch it. But Pat watched it right away and then realized, for some reason, like we edited the pitch at the start and I don't even think I did it at the ending, but it happened. But anyway, it sounded good in the editing room, but when it's into the video, it's high pitched.
Yeah, it just got weird. It just sounded odd.
So I Googled and tried to figure it out as much as I could, and I couldn't find any good solutions. But this is Adobe Premiere Pro, so I had to use Adobe Encoder and then export it from there, which just means it actually looks through it thoroughly. It takes longer, but...
So you didn't do the thing that I sent you?
I already did that. Like,
really?
That's what I meant. That's why Pat was like, how could you not edit this? I thought you did.
I felt so bad after I realized what had happened. But like, I was fuming when it first came out. I was like, brother, please, just edit the video.
And then I sent him a few recordings of it and he's apologized.
I apologized.
Went on his knees and begged.
I felt terrible, man. I felt terrible. But I was like, the difference, it was like one of those good things where, I watched it classic, I had it on while the family was eating dinner. And there were bits where they were genuinely laughing and I was like, hell yeah, like this is
Finally.
Good. That bit right at the end where I turn up and have the grape in my mouth, Mum lost it. Like she lost it laughing. But yeah, it was just one of those interesting things where I'll be able to send you the video later because I did take a video with the higher pitched. We can show that as an example.
Yeah, so I was all high pitched. Anyway, we got it fixed and nothing. But if you enjoy that video much, there is a longer version available if it gets enough attention and I get bored one day. But it is available. Let us know if you want it. But anyway.
Exactly. And so how much, something that a lot of people were asking me was how much did it cost?
So
that video to make.
Our plan was to be the cheapest video possible.
Yeah. Well, look, we're new to this thing. Like, it was our first big video. We wanted to keep costs low.
So it's like food, fuel, getting scammed for $100.
Yeah.
And
did you get that back?
No, I never saw that. I don't care.
That would be in the extended version of it. It's kind of glossed over. It's in the fuel saga of the video. which we will talk about later.
But yeah, so with accommodations and everything, it came to around 800 to 600, I reckon, dollars to pay for that little weekend adventure.
And it was good. Like, the camping was really lovely. I woke up on the second day in Lightning Ridge, and I look out of my tent to see an emu on my left and a kangaroo on my right, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm in outback Australia right now. This is cool.
But yeah, the return drive was all right, and there was less dramas then.
Yeah,
we learnt our
dramas.
lessons.
Yeah. So,
what would you do differently if we were to do that video again?
if I was to do that video again, oh gosh. Well, again, it was one of those things where it was the first time we'd ever done a video like that. So I think we did quite well given our experience and, you know, the effort we put into the editing and the time it took. And it took us a long time. Like, we came back from that, and I don't think we saw each other for a few months.
Yeah.
Like, we had just had enough. It's just like, this was a long weekend, bro. I'll see you later, you know. But it was really good, because then when we did come back to it, it was like watching a completely fresh.
Yeah, which is good. Which is what Stephen King sometimes says. He's like, he writes a book and then puts it down for 6 months and then picks it up and edits it then, because you're a new person and then you can reflect on it without.
Yeah.
So sometimes putting it down for a couple months or something is good.
Can actually
Yeah.
be good, yeah. Well, yeah, I think it worked out in our favour. And yeah, so as we were saying before, the fuel saga.
Yes, the incident in the video. The reason I think the video is actually good.
Yeah, it's because it happened.
Because of that. Basically, if you haven't seen the video, during our 12-hour drive, we come to a point where we're running low on fuel. Now, while we were driving, we had 2 towns lined up where we were going to fuel.
Yes.
One was at a bar that no one was at.
Yeah, well, there was a small gas, 2 pumps connected to a bar where you paid at the bar to pay for your fuel, which is the most rural Australian thing ever. And naturally, there was no one there, so we carried on.
Yep.
Spirits still high, all is well.
So we get a little worried about it, but there's a town nearby that has fuel on the maps as well. That's the thing. We Googled it and we're like, oh, we're sweet. We were meant to fuel up at Lightning Ridge, which was early in the morning where we got breakfast.
Yes.
But we forgot to.
Yeah.
This is like
'Cause
halfway.
We did a switch over. We switched drivers, and because we switched drivers, we forgot to get fuel.
Yeah, because it was on half, right?
Yeah.
The car was on half fuel, and then we had like 3 bars left when we went to the other town for fuel.
Yeah.
And this is what I mean by I got scammed. Basically, it's like do-it-yourself fuel station where you pay $100 to put $100 of fuel in.
It's like a Costco type fuel situation.
Yeah, but there's no one around as like staff. Like Costco has a few members that will help you if there's no one there and other people having this issue. So it's basically, I think what happened was the station just didn't have any fuel to give us.
Yeah, maybe.
Because if everyone else was having the same problem.
Yeah,
and
there were
like,
a few others that were having in the same.
It's like in a rural town as well.
Yeah.
So I think we paid and then it just didn't have anything to give us. So now we're like on 2 bars or 1 bar, and that's when we lost nearly all fuel. Stresses were high in the car.
Anyway, if you want to watch us go through that, feel free to watch the video. It will be, I don't know, in a link or up on the screen or something, you know, for you to watch it if you'd like to.
Yeah.
It was a great time. But yeah, so needless to say, lessons were learned.
Lessons,
Because we have bigger plans in the future.
Yeah.
And I think we are going to need to be taking jerry cans with us. Like jerry cans of petrol as just backups.
Yeah, at least 5 litres, like a small jerry, just to go through. But
I almost would say more, but you know, depending on how rural we end up getting.
yeah, it does depend, but
Yeah.
it is what it is. But in incidents like that, have you had any accidents or incidents, and what would you do in them?
That's true. Well, let's jump right back into life lessons. Roll the intro. Life lessons. Yeah, I've definitely had my fair share of accidents, injuries. I play netball. I play men's netball, which anyone who knows anything about netball knows that it is a horrendous sport when it comes to injuries, particularly in the knees and the ankles. Last year at Nationals, I was playing against Tasmania, and one of these dudes tripped me over, and I ended up tearing. I fully tore 2 ligaments in my ankle, and I partially tore another, which is bad. My feet have been absolutely beaten up in the sporting world. I played 2 seasons of rugby sevens. Both times I played, I broke one of my feet, one or the other. It was pretty bad. I broke whatever the bone is at the top. I think it's like the talus or something like that. It's a really small one, but it just cracked and I couldn't walk for ages. And all those things. And as a person who relies on sport primarily for the old mental health, the old mental well-being, it was definitely a kick in the gut. Particularly the incident at Nationals when I just finished up Nationals and I was meant to come back and start playing my ACT State League here,
nice.
Back at home, but I couldn't. I was sidelined for half of the season because I couldn't play. I was stuck, wandering around, constantly taping up my foot, not being able to run or not being able to bend my ankle the way I wanted it to bend, and it was really, really difficult, really tough time. And before we get into our solutions, Connor, do you have any
So I've got 2 in mind of major injuries.
Yep.
I can't talk today. Sorry.
Have some water.
Sorry, mates. Anyway.
Can I have?
Can
I have your water? Yeah.
No,
because I'm thirsty as hell.
You should have thought about that before you entered the stage.
I had a full glass, bro. I had a full glass.
So I have 2 incidents in mind. Yep. One was long ago and one was recent.
Yep.
Let's mention I've never broken a bone. I'm not allergic to anything.
Really?
Yes.
You've never broken a bone?
Well...
It's time to change that.
I'm not sure if you consider it a bone, but I don't think so.
You broke your penis?
No.
Oh.
That's a boner, not a bone.
I got him.
But, alright, 2 incidents. Pat knows one, he doesn't know the other. The one that Pat knows is the tooth incident, which I'll say is maybe a bone, is a teeth bone.
Well, yeah, technically.
Is it though?
Well, I think it is.
Is it?
It is.
Is it?
It doesn't degrade.
Well, editor's note, we'll find out.
Yeah, editor's note, please put up on the screen, is the tooth a bone?
And then the next one was, I finally got attacked by wasps.
Oh, did you?
The other day.
Oh no, what happened?
So, which one do you want to hear first? Which one do you think is more to your liking?
Well, I am intrigued about the wasp story because I haven't heard it before, but I think chipping a tooth would be more interesting in the context of life lessons.
All right. So, I was part of the choir. I know. We both
were.
But I don't...
Tenors, if you could believe it.
I know. People are surprised to this day.
I definitely couldn't.
But there was an Adelaide music trip. Did you go to that?
I didn't go to that.
Anyway, I went to that, unfortunately.
This is now clicking in my head. I am now beginning to remember this story. Please continue.
So, with these trips, you're usually with a foster family that have you over there for a weekend.
Yeah.
So you just stay at these people's house. So I was with another kid, and we were both there. And I thought it would be the grandest idea to warm myself to this family by showing them a couple of shows I had on my laptop. So I was staying upstairs.
I do remember this.
So I grabbed my laptop. Not to mention, these stairs are carpet. Now, I don't know what kind of morons have carpet stairs.
Oh, hey, hang on. Lots of people have carpet stairs.
I know, but why? They're not artistically...
They're comfortable.
No, they're not, and you'll find out why soon enough. So anyway, grab the laptop, I walk down the stairs, and the heel slips on the bottom of the stairs at the top. At the top of the stairs, I just nicked it, and I fell.
Ugh.
So, no one saw what happened, and I can't really remember what happened. But basically, my theory is, because there's dents on the injury I sustained, I was holding the laptop, and I must have rolled and hit myself in the mouth, breaking these 3 teeth all at once in one fell swoop and getting a scar that makes me kind of have a permanent smile, so I'm kind of Joker-fied.
The Joker is turned into the Joker. I'm Batman.
That's literally me.
He's
But
literally me.
so yeah, that's my big story is these 3 teeth are like broken like that.
Yeah.
So this one's kind of contained. These 3 are non-existent. So I've got fillers in, but like I was in LA because I had to go to hospital to get the scar stitched, which I think the school paid for. But anyway, it was like an open wound, and they were afraid it was going to get infected. So they stitched that up, not fixing my teeth. So I had to come back to Canberra, but I had to stay at the quiet camp for like 2 days, and every time I breathed, it hurt, and they were like telling me to sing.
Sing, and you're like, no.
No, I can't. That was my big injury. So that's my biggest injury, I would say. I've cut myself a few times and stabbed my finger once and got shot by a nail gun, but those are all minor. Those are all minor things.
Yeah.
So the recent one.
Can I just quickly ask? Is there a reason you're wearing sunglasses?
Babadoe feel. I've been doing it.
Babadoe is violently hungover, actually, and
you don't want to see my eyes.
You don't want to see.
No, but like my whole identity is the hat and the sunnies, and I don't wear the hat and the sunnies because I find these sunnies uncomfortable. So I've replaced them with this. So that's my personal brand. I'm just
wearing
going to wear
sunglasses inside
and playing games and watching. I'm just going to kick on. I don't mind it actually.
Okay.
It's just like an orange tint. It makes me feel good.
makes me feel cool.
So I got attacked by wasps first time. I've never been stung by a bee. Well, I'd have. I thought it was like ivy or something.
Yeah.
So I just flicked it away and I was like, oh, that's a bee. I was like, oh. So I've always been petrified of these things because I've never known what they've done.
Right.
So we had a wasp nest outside our house a few days ago, and like I was terrified of it. But this is not where I got stung. I went to work the next day, and like we were cutting down a pine tree. Yeah. It's very thick and bushy, so you can't really see what you're cutting. So the boss cut it down, and I grabbed a branch, but on that branch was a wasp nest. So I've been flicking around, and I just feel this sudden stinging on my arms and face. I thought it was ivy, so I start waving away, like, get off this ivy. He's like, just stay. My boss is just like, stand still. And there's a bunch of wasps just around the whole area.
Oh my God.
He didn't get stung, bastard.
Because he was standing still,
Yeah, with a chainsaw.
With a chainsaw. Ah!
But
just wild.
Yeah. Around. So I finally get stung by these things. I didn't find it as bad as some people do. Like, they swell up and everything.
And we're back.
We're back. So as I was saying, I got stung. So after I got stung, I went home that day and I was like, I can take a couple of these.
He learned.
I learned. So I've gotten rid of the wasps in my house with a hose.
The fear is gone.
The fear of these bees and wasps are gone now.
Yeah. That's good though. That's a feel good story. Coming
it is.
Of age, A nice finish. Me on the other hand, like, I do my best not to get injured now. Actually, that's a lie. I play just as hard as I played before. It really just comes down to other people. If other people aren't going to run into me, then I'll be fine. But, you can't really control that much.
I've been so close to injuries multiple times, but haven't for some reason. Yeah. I've been, like, shot up, like...
Wait, hang on. Shot up?
Like...
Pew, pew, pew.
No. Like, gone up in the air because I was holding a rope that's on a log. I've dropped 2 stories and came out of it fine.
What?
Yeah, well, when you're cutting a tree, like, someone's on the ground, so it's very hard for someone...
I'm trying to imagine you.
Yep, I had to let go. And let go and drop. And I kind of crashed like that, and I was fine. No broken bones or anything. So that I've been counting my days. I've had a chainsaw like this, like kick back.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Well, yeah, when it, bounces back, doesn't it?
No, so when you're cutting, if it gets covered by wood, it'll swing backwards towards yourself.
Yeah.
So I've been behind someone when that's happened, and it's come like here. So I've been counting my days.
Oh, Jesus Christ. OH&S fears this man,
Well, it's part of our industry, but...
Yeah, that's just the way it goes, yeah.
Anyway. So how do we deal with these problems and injuries?
Deal with these things?
How did you deal with your broken foot and overcome it?
For me, when I got my injured foot, right, I was really nervous because in the next couple months, we had the men's netball state of origin up in Brisbane. So New South Wales plays Queensland, and I really wanted to play. I was super keen. And so I knew that no matter what, I was going to be good enough and fit to play by that time. So when my physio gave me my rehab, I rehabbed the hell out of rehab. My God, I was doing stuff. I rehabbed better than I currently gym. Like, the idea of being able to get back to sport sooner was so worth it. And I was able to put off what I'm saying, I guess, is give yourself a goal. If you have a goal to come back and smash it at a time further down, then you're going to be able to, look at the current things now and go, oh, I can miss out on this right now because I'm going to get to enjoy this later. So rather than, because life is really, it turns into lots of little things, lots of little good things happening all the time to keep you in a happy mindset, or it's one really good thing every chunk of times. And sometimes you can switch between. Sometimes you'll do a little good thing, a little good thing, a little good thing. Nice. But then you'll do all right, we're going to focus on one big thing, one big thing, one big thing. And I think, that's the way to get through it, I suppose, is give yourself a goal to come back stronger. And that goes alongside injuries, that goes alongside a lot of different things, I find. But yeah, being able to sit there and sort of understand that, yes, you're in a bad position right now, but if you just keep working, it doesn't matter. You will get there in the end. And yeah, for me, as I said, I rehabbed the hell out of rehab. I got well enough, literally the week before State of Origin, I was cleared to play.
That's a good story, and that's good motivational.
Cleared to play. We then got absolutely smashed. We lost every game, but I had a great time in Brisbane. It was lots of fun. But yeah, that for me really cemented, one, my love for the sport of netball, and two,
you just get better.
I can get better. And not only that, I think I came back better at netball. It's because I was forced to just watch and learn for a couple months.
Shall we go into our review?
Yes. We've got our movie TV show segment. Roll the intro.
New off the press today came out the Avatar live action series.
I know, and people were keen, people were excited, because this is meant to be a better live action remake than the movie that no one mentions. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I've watched that many times.
You've watched it? Oh
yeah.
Gosh, I've never watched it because I just see all these things where there is no movie, there is no live action movie.
No, there isn't. But there is a commentary version of it that I enjoy very much by Riff Tracks.
Nice.
Because we were excited for that movie that shall not be named, and we downloaded the wrong version, and it was the Riff Tracks version, and that's the only one we watched.
That's it.
But anyway, this one was an interesting story. It's been in development for a while.
Yeah. I've only watched the first 20 minutes, so I got up to the bit where, spoilers, Aang goes into Avatar state under the water and turns into a big ball of ice. So that's what I've seen.
I've seen a full episode.
Yeah.
Or at least mostly the full episode. I think there was 2 minutes left on the end. But it's interesting because the show creators, I can't remember their names, but they'll pop up. Yeah. They walked off the project quite early on because of creative differences. So a lot of people were mixed on this show before it came out. It just came out, so there's no reviews.
We're gonna find out later.
But a lot of people were skeptical but excited because of the look. It looks very traditional to the animation, and the casting's brilliant.
Yeah, the casting so far, I've only seen 20 minutes, so I don't know that much. The casting looks really good. I like the scenes of what they've done and how they've set up the world. The art style and the difference between the cultures is so striking and so like the contrast between everything is so, impressive.
Yeah.
It looks, and obviously the martial arts that each of these bending forms are based on are all very accurate, or well, at least they look accurate to a guy that doesn't know martial arts. Sorry, I've got the hiccups.
But yes, they do. The form of how they bend and everything is very accurate, and they're very skillful.
Exactly, yeah. Watching the airbenders take on the firebenders. Oops, spoiler. Watching that fight scene was actually really impressive. It was interesting to see what it might have looked like.
Yeah.
The attack on
That's why I'm glad they're adding things. It's not just a one-to-one of the show. They're adding things, but they're also taking things away. Like, seeing the first episode, it felt like 4 episodes into one.
Yeah.
Which
how many episodes are there?
There's 8 episodes, and I think there's 18 episodes of the first season.
So there's 8 one-hour episodes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm really
8 or
excited,
10.
so I know what I will be binge watching over the weekend.
I'm glad they released it all.
Yeah.
That's what Netflix does well, is they just release it all at once.
Yeah.
Which I think is better than waiting week to week, because you can kind of...
Netflix knows people like to binge.
Yeah.
Like, they just know,
And they've got so much catalogue that they can afford to just release it all, because there's
Exactly.
other things. I feel like you can pick and choose which shows you want to... But for something like this, where it's just an adaptation of something that everyone's watched, you should just release it all, because everyone knows what's going to happen. Yeah,
exactly.
They just want to see what it looks like in this style and live action, and
For sure.
just the animation work of the CG and
Get
the
involved.
world.
So, in that similar context, did you watch the new Percy Jackson, the show on Disney Plus?
I watched the first episode.
Yeah.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it?
No. And then I saw the cast getting really excited about it, so I gave it a go, but then just skipped through a lot of it.
Oh, really?
So I would just watch the parts I wanted to watch.
It's really slow paced.
It is. It
It's
seemed
incredibly
immensely
slow.
slow paced.
Yeah.
So I think I just skipped to like mostly the end bit,
Yeah.
and I kind of got what was happening.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, a
that's
lot of it is good, and it is super, super slow. There are, like, when I was watching the Percy Jackson, I'm sitting there going, like, I keep thinking that the way that the pacing was going, it felt like I was at the end of the episode and they were setting up for the next episode, but then it would just keep going.
Yeah.
It just wouldn't stop. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, these things are 20 minutes long. Like, what's going on? But
And I'm a big fan of Greek and Norse mythology and how they depict gods, so that's what I was interested in. So
Yeah,
I
for
just
sure.
watched those bits,
yeah.
and they're just kind of lame.
Just
It doesn't
dude,
look
they're just
impressive.
regular people,
Yeah, I know. I know that's the Percy Jackson universe is like modern day, what they would look like.
Yeah.
But like when he goes to Olympus, it's kind of bland, and the underworld
There's
episode.
no one there.
Yeah, there's like literally one guy.
There ain't
And,
nobody there.
And the underworld's kind of just flat. Like
Also,
when...
rest in peace, the actor for Zeus.
Oh yeah, he died, didn't he?
It's very unfortunate.
He was in John Wick, wasn't he?
I have no
That-
idea. I actually haven't seen any of the John Wicks.
Oh, they're pretty good. Worth watching.
But yeah. But anyway, so yeah, Percy Jackson. The difference between Netflix and Disney Plus. Netflix brings out everything all at once. Disney Plus gives it week by week. For me, watching Percy Jackson week by week was like, it was a nice thing to do, but it was long. It was real long.
Oh,
It was only tolerable because I watched it with family. Like, it was
Yeah.
our family thing. We'd get together
I
every
get
Tuesday
that.
or Wednesday, and we'd watch the episode together.
not to ruin your family tradition, but for us, reality TV is a bit like our week to week of that is better for us
Yeah.
than a show. Like we did
I can understand that,
a couple of the Star Wars shows we did week to week, and then it was good. But for those shows, I think reality show is more entertaining for a family watch around.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, no. Anyway, I'm super excited to watch what they managed to do with the Avatar, and I genuinely really hope they do well.
I do.
I do hope they do well because I want to see more. The simple fact is, and the same thing with Percy Jackson, right? I want these shows to do well because I love the source material that they're pulling it from, and I want them to do well. I don't want them to do poorly. I don't wish them to do poorly. I'm not going to get mad for them for trying to do something.
I think it's a budget thing.
Yeah, what I want it to be good. I want it to be worth what has been created in the past.
Would you say Percy Jackson had a high budget?
I have
from the episodes I watched, it didn't seem that very high quality.
It didn't seem very high budget. It seemed it had been Disneyified.
Yeah.
Like a lot of the relationships and a lot of the things that were said between characters had been Disneyified. So in the original books, the stepfather of Percy is actually quite abusive. In the Disney version of it, he's actually just kind of a tool. Like he's just like he's a lovable dork, but he's not very nice, but he's a lovable dork kind of thing. He just doesn't say anything abusive. He's just a bit of an idiot. Which is what happens when you Disneyify a crappy person.
The changes that they made in the Avatar for the first episode, may I spoil a few things?
Yeah, you can spoil a few things.
Alright, I'll spoil one thing. A change I like.
Okay.
When Zuko invades the Water Tribe, Sokka actually goes out and defends Aang for like he actually fights Zuko 1-to-1.
Yeah.
Like in the show, I remember he just gets kicked out of the way.
He just gets
but this one, it's like,
ruined.
he's like, oh, all right, I'll actually defend this kid and the tribe, which I find better. And then like Aang thanks him. He's like, I've never had anyone defend me before. Yeah. So I kind of like that. Other than
now I'm excited to watch it. That's good.
So
that's a good spoiler. That's a good spoiler.
Those are changes that I like.
Yeah.
But some of the things like one of the old episodes, they've got it down to like the final minutes.
Yeah, right.
So there's other changes that I don't like. Right. I was sitting there like, I like this. I don't like that.
That was me with Percy Jackson. I was such a bookworm. Like I sit there watching the show going like, this happened in the book. That didn't happen in the book. This happened in the book. That didn't happen in the book. That sucks. Why didn't they do it like they did in the book? You know.
I hate watching shows like that. But if you're gonna make remakes, it's what you do.
Have to.
Yeah,
you kind of have to.
How many books are there? There are like 10 books, isn't there? Of Percy Jackson?
Well, there's the original Percy Jackson, then there's like The Last Olympians, and then there's all of the other spin-offs. There's a lot.
Right. I remember there's just a huge
there's
story.
The Trials of Apollo now as well.
Oh, God.
And all that kind of stuff. But unfortunately, we are about to hit 40 minutes, so...
Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you mates in the next one. Bye, guys.
Great to see you all again. Can't wait for the next one. Keep an eye out, actually, before you do your challenge. You can say goodbye again after I say this, but keep an eye out. We have new challenges and new things coming to the Babadoe channel and to the Low Power Twitch. So please
stay tuned and find out.
Subscribe his channel. Follow my Twitch, and let's
see what we're making in the future.
Exactly.
Bye, guys.
See ya.